Hey guys, what's going on? You're here. There are friends. What is going on with this background? Up that. Hey, Sully. Hey, Foogly. Mage. Is he dire? What's going on, guys? I think it fixed Axolotl, so he should smile at you now, but Sully was here first. Sully was watching me fiddle around with the bot. Stop sign is back. How you guys doing? I'm tired. I've had a real long day, but it was a good real long day, so you know, can't complain too much. I figured tonight we would try to get this page finished. You say that like I don't know that I'm pretty late on streaming. I had to, I've been putting it off, and I decided it was time for me to just do it. But I was, I had to get some stuff together for my, my dad, so, I had to do that quick, so unfortunately life took over, you know. Stream won't always be on time, unfortunately. Hey, Axolotl recognized you now. Aw, Dire, I'm sorry to hear that. Just hang out and lurk. Get comfy. You know, hopefully you'll get better after you hang out with us for a little bit. Some nights the stream is just gonna be a little late. That'll happen sometimes. Life finds a way. Wow, Mage. Axolotl just completely blew you off. Axolotl should recognize his name without a punctuation mark at the end. That's weird. Axolotl, what the fuck? Don't be rude. Say hello. That's weird. I have 5 different variations of his name in here right now. I have Axolotl with a capital and no space at the end. Axolotl with a lowercase and no space at the end. Axolotl with a capital and a space after it. And Axolotl lowercase with a space after it. And then I have Axolotl lowercase and uppercase both with the colon at the end in case you guys put an emote with it. And that should be the catch-all, but for some reason he didn't like you, so... I guess Axolotl just doesn't like Mage for some reason. I suppose it's not a perfect script. Speaking of the life, finds a way quote, Jeff Goldblum is a delightful human being. I watched this thing on YouTube with him. I don't remember how I got to it, to be perfectly honest. But, I watched this... I think I was watching, like, BuzzFeed videos with the actors from, Thor Ragnarok. But I got on this video where he, Jeff Goldblum, basically reviews tattoos of himself. So, like... They show him pictures of people who have gotten a picture of him tattooed onto their body, and he like rates them, and he is just so nice about it. He's like, oh, well, this looks like an exquisitely done piece. Is that on a forearm? Like, he's like critiquing it like it's a piece of art and talking about like the canvas, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He's so great. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get that on myself, but you know, I think this this tattoo artist did a good job. You know, he just delightful. Hey, Jace, what's going on? Axolotl is Magecist. Axolotl didn't even recognize that you said anything to him just then. What the fuck, Axolotl? Axolotl, you're a dick. Nah, he didn't like me either. Can he only do it once per stream? No, I did it earlier. I don't know. He's just trying his best. Because now he's working, actually. Maybe that's what it is. Now he's working, and he's trying to make sure that he remembers, everybody's currency. So, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just that he's working. I'm being too hard on him. Sorry, Axolotl. You're the best. You're trying. Yeah, I know you're trying your best. It occurred to me that I've been drawing their faces a little bit weird. The babies are hard to draw because their heads are more shaped, like, infants have larger foreheads in humans, and so when I draw the babies of the Jedoa, I'm really tempted to do that with them too. But technically speaking, I don't think it would really be like that. It just makes their heads look like the old version of their heads, and it... Gotta figure out how to fix that. Axolotl's just trying his best. I'm being too mean. Yeah, right? Oh, so, on the topic of contests, since we were talking about that earlier, I've been watching the stream, chatbot I use. I can look at your guys', I can look at your points from, the Streamlabs app. So I've been keeping track of how many points you guys have, and once enough of you have the amount, that I think I want to do for a raffle, we'll just hold a raffle, and we'll go from there as far as contests go. It's gonna be a little bit before I do any kind of Discord-esque, like Discord-based contest, only because I just don't have the time, honestly. I am just a one axolotl. So you'll have to give me a little bit of time to organize, but a raffle would be really easy. You know, I would just you guys would join by typing a command into the chat, and then the program picks the winner. So it would be really easy. So I'm not opposed to that. I just wanted to let you guys know I have a plan. I do have a plan. I'm not a complete slag. Who has the most is a great question. Is there a leaderboard command? No, there isn't. I need to figure out how to make a leaderboard command. Oh, I could just look at it. Derp. Aside from me, because I watch my own stream, the person with the highest points is Apple Gravy with 615. Axobottle, for some reason, has 601, and I'm not really sure why Axobottle is getting currency, but Axobottle has currency. Why is this not undoing? So second place, who is not Axolotl or me, in the top three are Apple Gravy, Floogly, and Briar Patch Weasel. Axolotl likes Jace. You know what's funny, and I think I might have mentioned this the other night, but I really wanted Axolotl to use the Lotta Love emote instead of just making a happy face. The thing is that Axolotl actually has his own Twitch account. And so in order to allow him to use my emotes, I would have to gift him a sub, which will cost me $5. So I don't wish to pay $5 so that my non-sentient but pretends to be sentient chatbot can use an emote. So he will continue to use the happy face emote until I get different emotes for him. But Axolotl does require a subscription to my channel. He is considered another viewer, because he has his own account. You have to make an account for your bot to use a custom name. So that's a thing that happened. Maybe that could be a contest. Maybe that could be like an art contest. I don't know like what you would win yet. But maybe that could be a contest, you know, who gets to design Axolotl? What does Axolotl look like? Or just some fun fan art you could draw for me. I like fan art. Fan art's fun. Oh my god, that's so cute. Hang on. Ah, Dire Crow, you win. Dire Crow, you win all the things. Jesus Christ. Yes! Ah, Dire Crow, it's perfect. I love it. Look at him, he's so happy. Dire Crow, I don't know what you win, but you've won. You've won the contest that wasn't happening. You just wanted everything. You have just achieved win. It does look like a Wooper. Can you guess why Wooper is my favorite Pokemon? Wooper and Quagsire. Can you guess? It seemed like there might be a reason for that. Speaking of Wooper and Quagsire things, I may have spent $50 on eBay yesterday on more Quagsire merchandise. I went on eBay just for the hell of it, and I was looking for something. I don't actually remember what it was now, but I was looking for something, and it recommended the Quagsire tag for me, and I found a book. It was an old trivia book. It's actually a really rare collector's item. Well, not really rare. It's sort of rare. But it's a trivia book that comes with a hologram card with Quagsire on it, like one of those ones where when you turn it, it like has two different pictures and it changes depending on which way you're looking at it. And I may have spent money on that. And I also bought a dried out stamper for like $4 from somebody else because it was a stamper that had Quagsire on it, but it just was dead, which is fine. It doesn't need to work. It just needs to sit on my shelf and look pretty. I don't need to be able to use the Quagsire stamp. I just need to be able to see it, and it has Quagsire on it. Do you? That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's like a trivia book, and it comes with a pen. I haven't opened it. I don't think I'm going to take it out of the packaging, honestly. I'm going to just put it in my shelf, but yeah. I also own every Quagsire card that's ever been made. So I have a Quagsire from every, like, series of cards. So, that's fun. My Quagsire collection grows greatly. I also found a sort of rare, gold figure of Quagsire that, I kept, that I purchased, although that's coming straight from Japan, so I need to wait for that to come in. I regret nothing of my life decisions. No, I want you to know that the shelf, I believe there's a picture of it on Discord somewhere. The shelf that I have with all my Quagsire merchandise in it, I spent $400 on that, and I'm not even mad about it. That wasn't $400, it was $250? I don't remember how much it was now. It was several hundred, and at first I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I just spent that much money on a collection of Quagsire merchandise. But then once I got it, it was the best thing I'd ever seen in my life, and I don't regret anything. The girl I bought it from had the big collection, and she was selling it on LiveJournal a while ago. Like, she was selling pieces of it. And it was like 2013, I'm talking, that she was selling this stuff. But I went on LiveJournal and I had an account, so I messaged her and I was like, hey, you know, do you have any more of that Quagsire stuff left? I mostly saw that she had the Zukon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Zukon? It's like I think it's a Gashapon of some kind. But, I saw she had one of these. And I had one already, but I wanted a second one so I could paint them and make a shiny version of them. So I asked her if I could buy it, and she got back to me and was like, yeah, you can totally, I have it still, and I'll sell it to you, but also if you give me, like, I think it was $250. She was like, if you give me, like, $200 and then pay for and then, like, $50 to cover the shipping, because it's gonna be a huge fucking box, I'll just send you everything I have. So she just unloaded the rest of her Quagsire collection onto me, and it's, like, the best thing ever. That collection's worth way more than the money I paid for it, though. Assuming you could get somebody to buy any of it, you know? I don't know who would actually realistically buy this shit, but, like, there's a lot of really rare collector's items in this collection, so I'm actually pretty proud of it, despite the fact that I spent an absurd amount of money on it. I hope that makes you feel good knowing that probably some of your commission money went into that. Anybody here who has ever bought art from me, I probably spent some of your commission money on that collection, and I'm very happy about it. And I love looking at it. Sometimes I just sit here and stare at it because it makes me feel happy. Quagsires make me happy. They're cute, and they have big mouths, and they're just excited about everything. So, that's a thing I did in my life once. Gold figure sounds like you're making a new religion. Maybe you should be worried about me. Maybe I should be worried about myself. Now, he's like, Gonna take an interesting adventure into my eBay. Summary, please. Yeah, he's this little monstrosity. How cute he is. You can't even tell it's a Quagsire. I don't know what this figure is, but the last time I didn't buy something, I regretted it immensely, so I bought it, even if it's like a knockoff thing and somebody painted it. Like, I don't even care. Honestly. And I also bought, this book. And that got shipped to me today. It actually wasn't that expensive. But it's apparently fairly rare. The listing doesn't say it's rare, but the note that came with it said it was rare, so I don't know. Who cares, right? I have it. The gold figures or the book? Yeah, there was one time I was on eBay and I was looking at, the Portal, blind box turrets. They made them for a while and they were at places like Barnes & Nobles and, Books A Million. They're gone now. They don't make them anymore, but, I was looking on eBay for a couple ones I was missing, and I found this listing. It was a bid out of, I don't remember where it was out of, and that was why it was kind of sketchy to me and why I didn't do it. I think it was maybe out of China or Vietnam. I don't remember. It was somewhere overseas though, but it was for a lot of 5 turrets, and they were really banged up, and some of them had like paint chipping off of them and stuff, so I kind of almost passed over it. There was like the regular white turret, and he looked fine, but there was I want to say a bumblebee turret, but the black stripes were peeling off. There was a rainbow turret, and the rainbow turret had its colors peeling off. But what caught my attention about this particular listing was that there were 2 other things. It was a lot of 5. The other 2 turrets were Hawaiian shirt print. And what was weird to me about that was that there is no Hawaiian shirt print turret as far as I know. There was a contest when those figures first came out to pick a design to be like the fan-chosen turret. And the 4 options were a gray turret with a mom tattoo, a blue turret with lightning bolts on it, a brown turret that looked like it was made out of wood, and the Hawaiian shirt turret. And I saw that listing and I didn't bid on it, and I don't remember why, but I have regretted that decision ever since then, because I have absolutely no idea if that was a legit figure or not, and if it wasn't a legit figure, I'm concerned that I may have missed out on a rare prototype item, because I have never seen that figure again. I have never seen that pattern on anything. And the only reason I considered that it was not a bootleg and that it was a real deal is because in Series 3 of the blind box turrets, they released the lightning bolt one as a color. And the navy with the lightning bolts is a real color you can get at a Series 3. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, by the way. Every now and then I go back on eBay and I look for blind box turrets and just see if I can find it again. Oh, hey, look! It's me! This is my collection. It doesn't exist in this format anymore. They're in a different cabinet now. But, yeah, that is all the turrets you can possibly get. Figma figures are great. So, like, they're these cute little plastic figures that, like, made out of super stupid cheap plastic, but they come in... Yeah, right? Well, that's because I went on a couple collectors Reddit threads and asked if anybody had ever heard of it. I've also emailed NECA to ask them if they've made it, if they know anything about it, because I've never seen the Hawaiian shirt turret ever since. I've never seen it again. They're cute, and they're fun to stack up all next to each other. But, yeah, so that's my collection. I made that. I think I posted the actual picture in Discord, actually. In fact, I think I sent it to Tested. Nope, didn't send it to Tested. Jesus. Photos, maybe? Nope, just lots of pictures of my cat. Nope, just more pictures of my cat. Okay, well, I think this was from when I was selling my Neopets plush on eBay. It is. Alright, well, whatever. I'll take a picture of it later and show it to you guys, like, in its new case. Because I actually, I made the bottom of the case, I filled the bottom of the case with felt. So, yeah, that happened. Cockapoo? Yeah, I've seen cockapoos. My neighbor, back in Pennsylvania had a cockapoo. She was a very sweet dog. Very cute. But every now and then I go on eBay and I search for Hawaiian shirt turret, or I just search for lot of turrets, and I keep an eye out just in case that turret ever comes back. And I doubt that it will, but I have regretted that decision ever since. So anytime I see anything on eBay and I'm not sure if it's a rare collector's item or not, if it's something that's within my, like, within my range to be able to buy, like, for example, that gold Quagsire figure. I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's rare, but it was also $8, so I bought it. You know, just in case. Because if it turns out that it's rare, then I have it. I did the same thing with a Minecraft figure. I saw this orange-colored creeper, and I didn't know what it was, and I bought it. And I later found out it's a minifigure that only comes with a playset, but I bought it anyway just in case it was a rare, like, fake color or something. Or a rare, like, prototype color. Just in case. You know, you never know. Oh, wait. Oh, a kakapo. As in the bird. I thought you meant a cockapoo like the dog. Hang on. Bird. Oh, with K's. Oh, yeah, I've seen him. This is a goofy looking animal. They're like, they have like owl beaks. It's weird. I thought you were talking about the dog. Yeah, they're pretty goofy. They're sort of ugly, to be honest. Their beaks are kind of weird looking. They're cute, though. They're like ugly cute. They're like I like pugs. I was gonna say they're like the pugs of birds, but I like pugs. Pugs are ugly cute. So actually, yes, they're exactly like the pug of birds. Have you guys? Oh, I forgot the name of it. It. There's a bird with a big mouth and this thing. What's this thing called? A putu. Look at its mouth. Look at its face. Look at this ugly animal. He's awesome. I hate him. But I also love him. Look at that smirk. He's like, That's pretty scary. That's maybe the scariest thing I've ever seen. That thing. That is a terrifying creature. They're so cute and derpy and ugly, and oh wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. I closed the window and then I saw a thing. Oh my god, it's so cute! I'm putting it on my desktop. Why is it so cute? It's so angry. It's so suspicious and it's only several days old. I love birds. They're so great. I don't know if you notice a trend. I enjoy cute, stupid, derpy things. Like axolotls. And birds. And cats. The stupider the face, the more fun it is. Yeah. Look at the name of that picture. Monogamous.jpg? Question mark. This smug-ass marshmallow. I totally missed that. Yes, he is a smug-ass marshmallow. He absolutely is. 100%. Oh, in case anybody was wondering what I'm doing tonight, because I totally just talked over everything. I just launched right into whatever it was I was talking about. I'm gonna try to finish this sheet tonight. Zoom out. That would be wonderful. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the outlines on these guys and hopefully get them colored, and then we'll just knock out one more sheet, and then I won't have to look at this sheet as something unfinished. It'll just be done. So... And then we'll go back to the other sheets, because some of the other sheets I still need to do writing on. Like this sheet. I know what's going on this sheet, but I need to do the writing for what's in the bottom here, because I'm gonna expand the relationships with other races section so that it fills up that space. I don't know why that's not lining up now. Whatever, Max. Whatever you want to do, friend. And this sheet, I still need to figure out how to fill in this space. If any of you guys have any suggestions on a way I could expand this sheet, I would appreciate it. This category is for I guess cultural events more than lifestyles, because it's like their religion, which kind of dictates how their culture formed, something about like their lore, kind of like their mythology. And then this section was going to be just their traditions, but this text doesn't take up the whole box. And it kind of bugs the shit out of me, because I definitely don't want to leave it empty, but I don't know what else to put here. I was thinking one thing I could do if I wanted to would be to maybe write like a piece of intro text to go here, and then just push this to the bottom, but I still don't think it fills up the box very well. So maybe I could, like, split it in half or split it into, like, a third somehow. And add just a small, like, 1/3 section blurb like this is. That could work, but I don't know what else to put there. So, if anybody has any thoughts for anything maybe I've missed, I put food into the sheet we're working on. Can you maybe go back into place, please? No? You're just not gonna go back? Okay. That's fine. I don't understand how you work Google. or Mac. Yeah, so the section about food is down here already. Mage heard lizards and appeared. It's like the good kind of trigger word, you know? Like a trigger word that, like, you know, makes you have a horrible war flashback is one thing, but for mage, hearing lizards is like a good trigger. Like if there were like a positive version of a trigger word, that would be it. I have been activated. Yeah, Dyer hears crows and is in. Alright, stop sign. See you later. Glad you could hang out for a little bit. Fennecs and corgis, also good trigger words. Maybe it's gonna be the goal. Good trigger words 2017. 2018. Wrong year. Positive trigger words 2018. New campaign. I know that's not how trigger words work, by the way. Ignore me. I'm just being a goof. I'm trying to think of other information about the Jedoa that I've forgotten that could go in that space. I also kind of feel like the writing and language sheet needs something. Like, maybe it needs some graphics or something. I don't know. It's just it's very plain. Like, compared to the other ones that are all full of images and stuff, it's like... I don't know. There's nothing on it. Like, from an artistic standpoint, that sheet's really boring. I just remembered I have a whole nother sheet after this, too. It needs to be something small. Maybe music? Music might not be a bad one to put in there. I know I haven't done music, mostly because I hadn't decided on what kind of music they would have, and I sort of forgot about it, if I'm honest. That might not be a bad thing to go under. Do you think that would fit under, on this page? Like, that makes sense with this page? See, I want to avoid too much cross-contamination between the races because I don't want people to have to search around for lore. Like, these sheets that are brown and tan are all the Jedoa's sheets. And then, I don't know what color I'm going to do for the other sheets, but, like, for example, say the Noldaru sheets are all blue. Or the Ascenian sheets are all green. You know, like, they're going to be color-coded, sort of. And by color-coded, I mean that the themes aren't going to be all this tan-brown color. But... I could put music down there, because that would fit next to the festivals section. I could scoot this over. I don't need a big section. I just need a way to make this section fit nicer. Maybe I'll put a little intro to festivals down here, and then... Which category is that? So I could put a little block of text up here that's like an intro. And then... yeah, and then that way this section over here can be for music, maybe? Or more calendar holidays. That's the other thing, is I started to run out of ideas for calendar holidays. Hi, Ash. Don't feel bad about being awkward. I'm awkward, too. I don't know how I ended up here. Somehow I got here, and I don't know how. Do they have an emblem or something? They do. It looks like that. It's at the very top of their sheet at all times. And by at all times, I mean just on this one sheet. I think maybe in this section I'll either do a short intro to like what kind of holidays they like, just an overview, and then do some specifics, or I'll come up with some more calendar holidays. Either way, I think I want to keep the holidays on this little strip here. Here's a question. What's considered a tradition? Like, what would be a nationwide tradition? So, like, in this case, the holidays I have down here, holidays, I don't know why I pronounced it like that, are the Sky Kite Festival, which is when the kites come back from their migration, they, or leave for their migration, they throw a big, huge party and feed them. They have New Year's, and because they're very like celestially oriented, they pay attention to the stars and stuff, so they know when it's a new year. And then like a winter solstice and a summer solstice, it's like the rainy month versus the dry hot kind of thing. Because they don't really have winter in the sense of snow. It's more like the season when it rains slightly more than usual. Since they're such generous people, it would make sense if they had, like, a Christmas type of deal, right? That would make sense. Oh, and, Jace, these are the sky kites. They are these big, ginormous, I mean, they're huge, like, plane-size animals, but they're these big, huge, desert-dwelling manta ray creatures, and they fly, but they have a bioluminescence about them. I haven't decided too much about their biology past that. So, like, I don't know where they live. I don't know how they fly. I don't know why they fly. I don't know why they glow. But, the reason that they exist is because, I needed them to. And I wanted a manta ray in my world somewhere. But the sky kites, their significance to the Jedoa is that the Jedoa look up to these they look up to the sky and they see these big, huge, ginormous flying animals that feel very magical and ethereal to them. And they believe that the glow that the sky kites give off is the energy from the souls of the dead. So their belief is that when you die, you become incorporated into a sky kite and help the sky kite glow. And the sky kite will carry you across the ocean. And since nobody knows what's across the ocean, to them, the kites are taking you to the afterlife. So when they return, you know, they've dropped you off, but you've already given them your energy to make the journey. So to them, getting into the stars and getting to the afterlife is basically you going over the horizon, and they take you to the afterlife. So that's the sky kites kind of in a nutshell. I kind of get, like, at first that was all there was to it, but I wanted to design baby sky kites. They're actually in the background. And then I kind of thought that maybe the sky kites aren't magical in any sort of way, but, and the Jedoa know that. Like, I kind of pictured the Jedoa don't think they're these immortal creatures. Like, they know they can die, they know they reproduce, but taking care of the babies, when the kites leave and they go over the ocean, it's like a breeding thing for them, so they go somewhere else and bring the babies back with them. So the Jedoa sort of see that as they're bringing, like, the new vessels. And so they, when the kites come back, that's what this picture is. When the kites come back, they bring the babies with them, and then the Jedoa feed the babies. They, like, gather food and have a big party for them to come home. So it's kind of, I haven't decided anything else about their biology, though. I don't know how they reproduce. I don't know where they live. I kind of pictured they dig down into the ground, and that's why they lay under the sand, and that's why their tops look like they're so much like statues. The yearly trade festival where they trade with other races for things they can't normally get. There's sort of always an open trade with other races. An interesting idea. But they are sort of always in open trade with them. I like my kites a lot. I actually have a mostly unfinished sculpture in my closet of them that I can't figure out how to get the clay to stick to the manta ray figures, and so I never actually finished the sculpture because the clay never stays on. I'm gonna try one of these days when I get around to it. I'm gonna try model magic and see if the clay will stick with model magic, but I just don't know if that will work. Lorhan, so, maybe that's something I should mention. When I was, when you look at other media, and if you want to try to, relate, you know, I sometimes try to relate my things to other stories and other people's stuff, just because I'm not good at explaining myself sometimes. But, like, when you look at other people's stories and you see a story like Game of Thrones, and I love Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones is very, very much about the conflict between all of the different houses and all the different people, whereas a story like, say, Guild Wars or World of Warcraft is about people from different cultures and different races coming together to fight a common enemy. And Game of Thrones is going that direction, but I would like for my story to be a lot more like Guild Wars and a lot less like Game of Thrones. So, and what I mean by that is in Guild Wars, all the races are pretty much friendly with one another. There's still some racial tensions, but for the most part, everybody works together, they're all growing together, and when stuff starts to go bad, everybody's ready to band up and do it without any question. And I kind of want that for Lorhandel too. At this point in their history, everybody knows everybody else exists. It's not like they're going to randomly discover, oh my god, there's snake people that live underground. Like, everybody already knows everybody exists. Everybody's already had their conflicts and they already exist, and that's about as far as I got with it. I don't really know that much about their history or what has occurred in their past. I'm still working on that a little bit, but I really didn't want Lorhandel to be about the conflict between the races so much as the conflict with whatever outside force I decide to go with, if I decide to go with anything at all. And that's not to say there won't be any racial tensions, because it would be really boring if everybody was all friendly with each other. But I didn't want to focus on that as much. There's a fox people living in the forest? What? Speaking of fox people, hi Volpine, I saw you lurking. I saw you doing that thing, that lurking thing. You lurk as much as you want. Lord knows I do it to you enough. Oh, I didn't know your Calyx were foxes. Okay. No, I missed the joke because I didn't know that Calyx were foxes. I knew that they were an animal with a tail. I just didn't, that could be cut off. I just didn't know they were foxes. I actually used to have forest spirits. They were actually a lot like Sylvari. I mean, like Sylvari in design, like physical design, not in their story, because they weren't anything like the Sylvari in story. But they looked much like the Sylvari, and I never developed them enough that I felt like they were interesting, and so the minute I decided to reduce it to 5 races, I cut them immediately. They were one of the first ones to go. I didn't like the idea. I sort of had them just to have, like, a magical force in the forest, and then I was like, eh. Everybody does a magical wood sprite. I don't want a magical wood sprite. I just don't want to do it, so I didn't. Yeah, I think if I was going to do any kind of forest spirit, it would be more along the lines of an Ori, not a tree thing. Absolutely. More of like an actual, like, spirit, and less of a... I don't know. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Using my words and all that. MTX is like, yep, that's it. Ori's the only one. Lorhandel's very low fantasy. I'm still working out some things. There's some little kinks I got going on here. It's, you know, some rubs, some stuff that doesn't quite make sense yet or is in the process of making sense, and it just gotta get there. Gotta get there. See, the problem is I have convinced you that I have this all planned out and I've been working on this forever, and all I need to do is make it visual, but I know what everything that's going on. That's the problem. I've tricked you. There's nothing here. It's all empty. The box is empty. I have cat people. Is that close enough? Literally the only plot point I have for my cat people, by the way, is that, if you attack another, like, king or whatever, you have to cut your braid off. Because they have long hair. That's literally the only plot point I have for them, and I definitely got it from a Tumblr post. I saw this Tumblr post about, like, if you, like, want to challenge a king to war or whatever, you have to, like, cut off your braid, and like the longer the braid, the more trouble you're in, because it was that you grow your hair out and braid it in peace times, and when you challenge somebody to war, you cut the braid off and send it to them, and so like the longer the braid is, the more trouble you're in, because if it's a really long braid, you've really pissed off somebody who's pretty benevolent. And it just cracked me up because some of the descriptions of things on that made me laugh. Like, a warmongering king trying desperately to shave off whatever hair he can get so that he can challenge somebody to war, but then, like, this other person gets, like, a giant crate with just the longest braid of hair they've ever seen. That's, like, literally the only plot point I have for the Noltaru. I know nothing else about them. I have not decided. Oh, I think of them, too. Yeah, the creepy little guys from Princess Mononoke. Yeah. I don't know what those are. I know that they're like a thing. I just don't know what they are. Personally, myself. Oh, the other thing I know about Noldaru is that their eyes change color. But that's all I got. I got those two things specifically. I knew I wanted a big northern animal, and I knew that I wanted them to be centaurs. And by I knew I wanted them to be centaurs, I mean that I didn't bother to change them from being centaurs, so now they are. Because I didn't like the idea of making them anything else but that. I thought about it, but it just didn't fit. The Noldaru are gonna need a lot of work when the time comes. Been blind? What did you do? Oh yeah, Koroks. Obviously. I've seen Koroks. I love them. Speaking of Koroks, I don't know if they're technically the same thing, but I love Makar. Makar is the best thing ever. I'm hoping the more work I do, I can fill some of this stuff in, too. Yes, the top cheer is no longer, Vulpine, it's now, Crusher. I can't remember what Crusher is actually. Altair. Every time I see Crusher, I know his name is different, and or her. I actually never asked. I know Altair's name is different, but I always forget who it is. Yeah, that's been changed. That's been different for a couple weeks now. In fact, I believe the exact cheer that went along with it was Death to Vulpine, or Down with Vulpine. Something like that. Something along, or her reign ends today. Oh no, he did change it. Wait, when did that happen? Holiday cheer. Vulpine is no more today, yes. Vulpine is no more today was the one. It was some sort of battle challenge. That's all I remembered. But with a 3. Not as aggressive as Death to Vulpine. Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, nope, wait, that's not right. That's not gonna be it. The real question is, who will beat the cheerleader? The Bit King. Yeah, that's all I got. Or will Altair reign forever? Altair will probably reign forever because I don't usually beg for bits, so... Bird mouth. I don't like drawing in a pen that's this small. You mean it never gives you bits? It should. What I was doing the other day with Vulpine was, I was sitting in her stream and I clicked on that little, the little cheer icon next to the smiley face. And there's an option in that menu. I can't... Oh, it's not a regular ad. It's not like you get a bit for watching the ad at the beginning of the video. There's a little bit icon down in the chat box, next to the emote box. When you click on that, there's a thing that brings up a window to watch ads for bits. And so you have to watch a specific ad, and then it will give you bits through that menu. Or at least it should. I don't know if it works out of the US yet. I know there was some discussion about that not working outside of the US. But the other day, I was sitting in Vulpine's stream chatting with her, and I just had the window up in the bottom, and every time it finished a 30-second ad, like, I would just watch the timer, and as soon as the timer hit 0, I would close the ad, get my bits, and then just load up another one, and I just watched, like, a fuck ton of them. See, now, I have ad block, but I still get ads at the beginning of everybody's videos, like, constantly. Anytime I reload a stream, I get an ad. Every time. So I muted that tab and just put it at the bottom of the video and just continued watching Vulpine's stream and just, like, basically I pushed that page off to the side and just, you have to have the tab active, but it's not a big deal. So I just watched ads throughout Vulpine's entire stream, and now I have a fuck ton of bits that I just give to whoever I feel like. Like, I gave some to Vulpine, I think I maybe gave some to Ms. Maw. Cass isn't affiliated yet, so... Speaking of that, if you guys ever need something to do during the day, go poke, Cass. Because, poor Cass has way more than enough followers to get affiliate, but for some reason, she can't get more than, like... She can't get people to stay in the chat, and I don't understand why, because she's so much fun to listen to and to hang out with. So if you guys ever need something to do during the day, go hang out with Cass, because she's hysterical. She is an enjoyable human being. and I think you guys would really like her stuff. Ah, Foogly, got a whole 5. Thanks. Now you'll have a little gray thing next to your name. Aw, but it takes away your crown. That's sad face. Rip. You watched a whole 1 ad. Good for you. You did the thing. Cass is in that unfortunate position where she gets, like, a couple of... I think it's... not that it's wrong for her to stream as much as she does, but she gets a lot of people throughout the day that are, like, regulars, but they can only come in for a few minutes at a time, sort of thing. Like, I think that's just an unfortunate thing that happens. I don't think that's her fault or really anybody's fault. I think that's just what happens to her channel. Because that's what happens when I go to watch her channel, too. Like, I want to sit and watch her draw, or watch her write, or watch her play a game, but it's while I'm working, so I get stuck. I watched, like, 41 ads, so I could get a trio cheer. A top cheer. You could get the top cheer if you watched, like, 41 ads. So, yeah, that's my plug for the day for another artist. If you need something to do during the afternoon, go hang out with Cass, and maybe we can get her follower or her viewer count up enough that Twitch will let her make money. Because I don't understand why she hasn't gotten affiliate yet. She totally deserves it. Which is weird like that. The other weird thing is that sometimes her stream does go up to like 7 or 8 viewers like we get. I think we're more than that now on average, but her stream will get up real high, but if for some reason Twitch doesn't count it, I don't understand how Twitch works, is basically what I'm saying. Love your streamer friends in chat. Love them. We like our streamers here. We like our artists. We like our art lovers. We like everybody. Everybody's good here. It is. It might even be streaming if she's not here. Sometimes she's... Why is my key to be blue? Cast Wellis. She is currently hosting Bob Ross, so I don't know where she is, but there you go. That's her thing. If you guys want to follow her, more followers is good. And also, if like I said, if you need somewhere to hang out during the day, that's a good place to hang out. So I went out with one of my friends from work today, and played Pokemon Go pretty much all afternoon. It was awesome. I got a 97%, which may mean absolutely nothing to you. It barely means anything to me, but I got a really good wish cash on a random street corner, so that was awesome. I finally got enough Ralts candies to evolve a Ralts. I finally got enough Tyrogue candies to evolve a Tyrogue, and actually I just remembered I didn't do that yet, so I'm gonna interrupt the stream for a moment to open up my app and do that, because I want to know if I'm gonna get another Hitmonlee, because I would really like to not get another Hitmonlee. I would like a Hitmonchan or a Hitmontop. That would be swell. And then we met up with some guys at a park to do a Groudon raid. And the guy, as we were leaving the Groudon raid to go into another Groudon raid, he clicked on a random Sableye that was in the park, and it was a shiny. And as we were driving away from him, he was, like, waving at us through the window, like, flipping out. And I was like, wait, does he need us to stop driving and talk to us? Like, is he gonna get lost going to the next raid? And we just left. Like, my coworker, my friend was like, ah, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out. And we just drove away. And so when we got there and he got out of his car, he was like, it's a shiny, look at it. Like, he was so excited. That guy was great. He was hysterical. I have hatched... Okay, so here's a fun story. I have an app on my phone that I got through Tutu app. It is a hacked version of Pokemon Go. I mostly use it to take 3 steps to the left side of my house so that I can reach a Pokestop when it's 7:30 in the morning and I haven't left the house yet. Because a Duskull used to spawn there during the Halloween event, and so I would basically grab it just to see if it was shiny, and that was all I was using it for, but I still have it. But I was using it the other day to hatch eggs, and I literally just left it on the charger and just let my character auto-run all over the place, so she was just walking around in the parking lot. I hatched probably... let's see. I hatched the whole box full of eggs. And then I went around to some Pokestops and grabbed more eggs. I think I did that 3 times. So I probably hatched like 15 or 25k eggs. I did not get a single Tyrogue from any of those eggs. I just cannot hatch a Tyrogue. They just do not like me. It's really weird. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or like if it's just they're just super rare, but I never have enough, and as soon as I got my first one, I had to start walking it because I was never going to get another one. Like both of them, I've walked them. Like I'm walking this one. I'm going to click on this one and all right, friends, let's find out. I have a shit ton of Fampy. That's a thing. What's he gonna be? I think it's a Hitmontop. It's a Hitmontop! Hooray! My first Hitmontop! I wish I had a webcam so I could show you guys my stupid Hitmontop. I hate him. But I have him now and he's in my decks. So the only thing I need now is a Hitmonlee, which I would have had. See, I thought you could do that, and I know you can, but, the first one I checked said... Let me find it. The first one I checked said that he was best in attack and best in defense, and he evolved into a Hitmonchan. Beyblade is a great name for a Hitmontop, and I'm absolutely going to name my Hitmontop that. Hang on. Where is he? Beyblade. I named my... Speaking of good Pokemon names, I named my Groudon Pangea because it sounds like a cool, giant, badass name for a huge continent Pokemon. But then one of my friends pointed out that, their phone keeps autocorrecting Groudon to Groupon, and now I really want to name a Groudon Groupon. It's kind of a problem. Do not steal. Too bad. I stole. I did it. Beyblade. A good name. Groupon is a fantastic name for it's pretty it's a funny name. It's a good funny name. Does this chair make any sense? Nope. Do I care? Negatory. That would be a good negatory. Renderino. Back to the level at which I don't care about how much sense this chair makes. Is incredible. That's me. Heartless bitch. The worst. The absolute worst. I don't know why I'm doing this now, because... Well, that makes my line look fucking stupid. Heartless is a good name for a Sableye. I don't remember what I named my Sableye. I couldn't think of a good name for Sableye, to be honest. Sableye was sort of a weird, anomalous Pokemon, and I could not think of a name for it. It doesn't, like, evolve into anything. It bugs me. I really like his, Pokemon Go model, though. Like, I kind of... It's not that I didn't like Sableye, it's just, it never was, like, a standout Pokemon to me. I never, like, liked or disliked its design. It was just kind of there. And, but when I saw it in Pokemon Go, it looks really cool. I like the way its head, like, twitches. I don't know. I thought that was cool. I'm sure it does it in the regular games too, but I never see them, so... When's the last time you ever looked at a Sableye? Talk about an irrelevant Pokemon. Great, but irrelevant. Well designed, but irrelevant. You want to talk about stupid Pokemon designs, though? Look at fucking Alomomola. I hate Alomomola so much. Few Pokemon instill... This isn't Ori and the Blind Forest. Shit, is it the title? Ori and the Blind Forest? It is. Well. Rip. Rip stream category. Unsubbed. I'm sure they are, I just... when have you ever seen it? I meant, like, design-wise. No, it's a great Pokemon in competitive. It's cute. I like it. I didn't say I didn't like it. It's sort of irrelevant when it comes to, you know, design things. Maybe it's not irrelevant. It's definitely not as irrelevant as Alomomola. I'd rather divert the conversation to a Pokemon I definitely hate a lot, which is Alomomola. Alomomola, just everything about that Pokemon makes me angry. It looks... First of all, it looks stupid. Second of all, why does it not evolve from Love Disc? Actually, scratch what I said about Sableye being irrelevant. You want to talk about a completely irrelevant Pokemon. Fucking Love Disc. Come for his life. That is an irrelevant-ass Pokemon, and it could have been so relevant if it was the pre-evolution of Alomomola, but it wasn't. And that makes me mad, because it could have been so much more. Yeah, but it could have. Unsubbed, unfollowed, deleted Twitch account, canceled my internet. I blew up my computer. Wow, all because it didn't say creative and it said Ori and the Blind Forest. Wow. Basculin is also a very irrelevant Pokemon. It might even be one of the most irrelevant Pokemon. I think I would put that on my top 10 most irrelevant Pokemon. Basculin is an unfortunate Pokemon. Yeah, but like... Well, I guess that's true. The 5th gen Pokemon stand on their own. But why... Still, like... I don't know. I know that was like their gimmick for 5th gen or whatever, but... Just... It hurts me. I know that was their gimmick for 1st gen, for 5th gen, but like... Ugh. I don't know, like, 4th gen had evolutions from other generations. Like, why didn't... Like, they could have made it that, like, Love Disc evolves into Alomomola, but you never found Love Disc in that game. And you just, like, kind of like a Pikachu thing. Like, you would have to breed it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe... I know that was 5th gen's gimmick. It just... He's so angry. Why would you make another pink heart-shaped fish then? Make a different fish. Or don't make a pink heart-shaped fish. Just take out the Pokemon. I don't know anything about competitive, but I think it's a garbage Pokemon anyway. Trubbish is literally the most garbage Pokemon. Although, you know, I hated Trubbish at first because, oh, it's a fucking it's a stupid Pokemon. It's literally garbage. But honestly, that's actually not that uncreative. That's kind of a cool idea, I guess. Like, all things considered, it's not that bad. Everybody hates on Trubbish and Garbodor because they're fucking ugly, and they are. They're, like, the ugliest Pokemon I've ever seen. But, I don't know. Like, I guess 5th gen did a lot of craziness with their designs. You know, they had, like, a literal chandelier, and the chandelier was, like, the best Pokemon ever. So, I mean, that's, like, my favorite fire type. Chandelure is great, and I love everything about Chandelure. But it's a chandelier possessed by a ghost. It sounds stupid on paper, but it kind of works. I don't know. Like, living trash, I guess, isn't that weird to me. I mostly hate the Pokemon that, like, literally have no reason to exist. Like, Alomomola. And any other Pokemon I'm sure you guys could tell me about, and I would go, holy shit, that thing exists, I forgot. I don't know how we got onto me roasting Pokemon. I don't know how this happened. All of a sudden, I was in the mood to, like, bash some Pokemon. Like, I was coming for their lives. I don't know why that occurred. The point is, I just don't like Alomomola, okay? That's the point of that conversation. I don't like it. You want to talk about a Pokemon that I actually do remember Durant because my dad's favorite animal is an ant, so... fucking Glalie. Okay, when I looked at Glalie, and I completely forgot about this, but I looked at his teeth, and I forgot that they don't... Number one, I forgot they open at all, but I would have thought that these 4 teeth, like, lifted, but they're, like, freaky little gopher teeth. I don't like them. They're so scary. Ugh. Ugh, I don't like it. Do not want. I don't know. They don't open all the way either. They're just... I don't like them. This is cool, though. I actually really like Mega Glalie. Unbound Hoopa is terrifying. It doesn't look anything like a Pokemon. I like Unbound Hoopa as a design. I don't like Unbound Hoopa as a Pokemon, if that makes sense. It's really ugly, but I kind of like it. I don't know, it doesn't look like a Pokemon to me, I guess. It looks like I don't know, it looks like something else. What is this title? It's actually 21 feet tall. Now I need to click on this image because I need to know what the title is. And it's very, very heavy. There you go. Now you know. Yeah, it looks like a Dragon Ball Z character or something. Oh, I got full foam Zygarde. Zygarde looks like a transformer. I like regular Zygarde quite a bit, actually. I don't know, it's kind of creepy. I like it. Your vote for the ugliest, worst designed Pokemon, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I like this one. I don't care about the other forms. Like, Zygarde could have just not had other forms and I would have been fine with it. But I actually sort of like Zygarde. It's probably because it's green, though. Don't let that fool you. It's probably because it's green. The dog one's pretty cool. I don't dislike the dog one. It's just, like, it's kind of my same feeling towards, like, the original sprites of Sableye. Like, it was a cool design. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's not like I go, oh my god, it's great, and I love it. You know, like Rowlet. The second I saw Rowlet, I didn't even need to look at the other starters. I saw Rowlet, and I fell in love immediately. Rowlet is, like, the perfect Pokemon to me, and I saw him, and I was like, I don't even care what your other forms look like. I don't care if you're the worst competitive Pokemon that has ever been created. I don't even care what your other typings are. You are the best. This one design is it's just an owl, and it's so simple and round, and there is nothing to the design at all, and it's the cutest thing I've ever looked at. And I just, like, my eyes were like, yes, give, Liz. I didn't even consider Poplio and Litten. Not even for a half a second. There was not even a glitch in my mind. I saw Rowlet, and that was it. It was done. Love at first sight. But, like, the only Pokemon in my book that beats out Rowlet is Quagsire and Wooper, and that's more of the nostalgia in me. Like, my top 3 favorite Pokemon are basically my top 1 favorite Pokemon because I can't decide which one is the best. You legit bought the 3DS just for Rowlet? Yes. Team Rowlet. I have a shirt that says Team Rowlet on it. That's how much I love that Pokemon. And also the only reason I don't have any t-shirts of things with Quagsire on them is because nobody makes anything for Quagsire. Probably was super anyway. I don't understand why he got as much hate as he did. Like, the first time I saw him, I was like, wow, he's fucking ugly. But then the more I looked at him, he was like, alright. It was like, okay, I mean, it's a seal. He's a clown seal. That's fine. I'll take it. I don't know. I didn't hate it as much as I guess I could have. Litten was cute, but I also didn't care because there was an owl, so... but the point of that random fangirling over a digital owl was that, like, when I saw Rowlet, I absolutely fell in love, but when I look at a Pokemon like Sableye, like, especially the 3rd gen sprites, I just kind of am like, okay, it's a thing. It's a Pokemon. It's kind of there. It just exists to me. You know... Like the dog Zygarde, it's there. It's a cool design. It just exists. I don't know. Oh, and also Guard Dog is a great name for a 10% Zygarde. Spelling it like Zygarde. That's a great name. Oh my god, were you here for that? I hate that. Let's get back to the roast train for a second, all right? Because let's talk about Incineroar for a second, okay? First of all, minus the disappointment that thing should have just stayed on 4 legs. Its run is the worst thing I've ever seen. Not this image is like, no. Actually, I am curious though. We won't do that video again, don't you worry. Pokemon run cycles. I want to see the in-game run cycle for it, and also that we get to look at Rowlet. Look how fucking cute he is. Oh, he's so chubby. What a chubby baby. Oh, where's stupid fucking Incineroar? Like, it absolutely should have stayed on 2 legs, and I'm 100% with you on that, but okay, so it walks like a human. Where's the run cycle? There's a video with the run cycle somewhere. I just happened to click on the run one. Oh, it flies! Oh, it's so great! And then there's Dartrix, and he's just kind of there, and I don't care about him. And oh, he runs like a ninja. He does the Naruto run. I don't really care about the Decidueye either. Litten's fucking cute. That exists. Why does he run like a person in the game, but he runs like a cat in the anime? I don't hate Decidueye, it's just I like Rowlet more. Axolotl does not like you, Mage. Oh my god. He's like, no, I refuse. God, everything just... Rowlet's eyes are great, what are you talking? They do stare into your soul. That's part of the charm, I think. The fact that Rowlet stares into your soul. Popular running was a joke, yeah. You're totally allowed to like Decidueye. I'm not gonna roast Decidueye, honestly. Like, I like Decidueye, and I'm 100% okay with picking him. I don't know. Rowlet is like the perfect Pokemon design for me, being somebody who likes really simple designs. So immediately, I just don't care about Decidueye. They could have done literally anything with Decidueye, and I wouldn't have been impressed. Impressed, I should say, in the way I was impressed with Rowlet. I didn't fall in love with Decidueye the way I fell in love with Rowlet. However, in Decidueye's defense, my brother was going to pick Litten because he likes cats a lot, and he actually switched to Rowlet because he liked Decidueye so much. He thought Decidueye was a really cool Pokemon, and so he actually switched his starter choice because he wanted to have Decidueye. So, totally not trashing him. What if Decidueye was Rowlet but bigger? I would love that. I wish that was a thing you could do, honestly. Like, I wish that you could, it makes no sense for competitive, and this is just like, this is like a wish that I actually don't really wish would come true because it would make absolutely no sense. But I wish you could use Pokemon competitively, even if you didn't evolve them, because I would just have a whole team of Growlithes. But I don't want that to happen because it wouldn't make any sense for competitive if you did that. I guess the point of that is that I jokingly wish that that was a thing, but I know that it's not. I have the trainer size Rowlet plush on top of my display cabinet. He's cute and he's great. I want more Rowlet stuff, but there's like so much Rowlet stuff that I don't know where to start buying anything, and I also have nowhere to put any of it. I'm thinking about maybe if I want to buy more Rowlet stuff, I might redo my office. I have this big bookshelf between my two display cabinets. If I could find smaller bookshelves to put in between the display cabinets, I could, like, two tall ones, thin tall ones, I would have space for a third display cabinet, and then I could put more stuff in there. Oh yeah, Little Cup's a thing. Forgot about Little Cup. But yes, I mean like the anime. I mean like in the anime where you got Pikachu beating up, you know, fucking, Zygarde. I don't know why I picked a Zygarde. I don't think Pikachu's ever battled a Zygarde. But I wish you could use any Pokemon the way Ash uses Pikachu, because I would just have a Rowlet. Actually, if Pokemon were real, I would just have a Quagsire, a Looper, and a Rowlet, and that would be it. I would just not even care. If you could have any Pokemon be real, what would it be? Conversation topics! Like, if you could have any one Pokemon as a pet, what would it be? Absol, Meowth, Latios, Mystic, no. MTX wants to break the universe. MTX isn't messing around. MTX has had enough of us heathens and wants to just end it. Meowth would be good. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Spam and Payday. Absol would be good too, because Absol could tell you when danger's coming. So, good utility Pokemon, guys. Practical. See, here's the thing. I want to say I want a Quagsire, but Quagsire is also 5 feet tall, and that's scarier than I think it should be. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna look that up now, because I actually forget. Quagsire. How tall is Quagsire? Quagsire also weighs 165 pounds. Quagsire weighs less than I do. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, Quagsire is only 4 foot tall. Quagsire is a foot shorter than I am, and that's a terrifying proposition, because I didn't realize they were so big. Like, I forgot how big they are. Look at these fuckers. Look at these stupid little... Look at them. They're so soft. I just want to squish them in their cute little faces. Look at this one's face. They make me happy. That's why I like them. If there's any reason to like a thing, it's because it makes you happy. And not many things in this world make me happier than just looking into the dead, blank, soulless eyes of a Quagsire. What? Ditto- wait. Holy plot point. Spoiler alert. Ditto can turn into people? That's awesome. Okay, Ditto's my favorite normal type Pokemon. Yes, you could have them all if you had a Ditto. I just like Ditto. Ditto is my favorite normal type. I like its color. I just like the color it is. Its color is very pleasing. However, I did not know that that was a thing that could happen. The Mage's World just exploded. I guess maybe now I should have played Sun and Moon. Probably should have gone around to taking that game out of its packaging. Because it's still in the bag on my floor. I actually haven't even taken it out of the Target bag. That's how much I didn't care about playing that game because I was doing other things. It wasn't even that I didn't want to play Sun and Moon because I didn't think it was going to be good. It was just I didn't want to play it because I didn't have time. And now the Switch happened, so, you know. That's probably going to sit on my shelf with its packaging on forever. But I have it, I guess, so rip me. This chair still doesn't make any sense, but it's the best. Alright, well that's a thing that happened in the games, I guess. Not any weirder than Pikachu talking in that one movie. That was pretty fucking weird. That was, like, the stupidest thing I've ever seen in anything ever, by the way. Second only to maybe, like... I'm trying to think of anything that I've seen that just was stupider than that. Pokken, Stardew Valley, and Skyrim on a Switch. Lots of good games. I love Pokken. Pokken was actually really good, and I'm sad that there wasn't more to do. Because I really enjoy... I'm not good at fighting games, usually. So, when I was, you know, not the worst thing ever at Pokken, I was actually, pretty happy about that. Like, I was enjoying Pokken a lot. It's just I didn't have anybody to play with. And so I was doing a lot of online competitive, and after a while, you get bored. Of just battling, just beating people up. I really liked, actually, Pokken Tournament's the reason Chandeler's my favorite fire-type Pokemon. Because Chandeler's great. And it makes the greatest sound when you win. Like, a lot of the sounds for the Pokemon in Pokken didn't really... They were weird. Like, Garchomp's sound, he, like, growls really funny. Like, he sounds like a person, almost. But Chandeler goes, like, yeah. That was actually a pretty decent rendition of what that sounds like. I don't know where that sound came from. But it makes these cute little noises, and it's my favorite. It's just... Chandeler. Did they add tournaments? Interesting. I guess that would make sense if people make their sounds. Hey, somebody makes Pikachu's sound. I would go on Google and find it and let you listen to the actual sound, but I actually... Jason. Japanese voice actors can make all kind of weird sounds. Yes, they can. It's incredible. And a little bit terrifying. But yeah, Pikachu talks in the one movie, and it's just stupid. They could have absolutely left that out, and that movie would have been fine. That moment actually honestly ruined the whole movie for me. I mean, it was a pretty stupid, shitty movie to begin with, but broke me. See you later, Sully. Have a good one. They should have absolutely left that out. They could have just not done that, and it would have been fine. That was a garbage movie anyway, so it doesn't matter. Tell you what, though, that movie was that was one of those so bad it's good movies, because me and the dude sitting next to me were having the best time. Like, I went with a group, a local Instinct group, to see that movie, and so, like, we all bought tickets month in advance and all met up at the theater on the day of the thing. And I ended up sitting next to this random guy that I'd never met before, and he and I were just sitting there giggling and making jokes at each other the whole time. Like, anytime James did any weird shit, we would just be like, oh, it's James. Like, just... dumb movie. Oh. Regarding Pokemon as pets, I would say Honchkrow and Murkrow, but they'd be hard to look after, so I stay Star after. Crows. Or an actual falcon. I feel like you're gonna have a little trouble with any of those. Good choice, though. You know, can't fault you for that. Any of those Pokemon I sort of expected you to pick. So here's the thing. Since I just made fun of you for that, maybe I should actually ask you why. Is there something in particular about Honchkrow and Murkrow specifically that would make them hard to take care of, or is it just because they're crows? I have to say, so the 7th gen anime was kind of Roxette, thank you. Oh, I appreciate the bits. I watched a little bit of the 7th gen anime. It feels different. And it's a little bit jarring because it's so different from the other ones. But I wouldn't say it's bad, if that makes sense. It definitely doesn't feel like the classic Pokemon. And I sort of get the feeling that that was the intention, is that it's not supposed to feel like classic Pokemon. It is supposed to be a reboot. But, the side characters are way more interesting than Ash, as usual. Like, the art style is really cute, and it fits for all the characters except for Ash, and I don't know if that's because I'm used to seeing him as a slightly older, weird, not, not a 10-year-old. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing ever. It's certainly not the worst thing I've ever seen. That's true. Crows would get into mischief a lot. That's a good reason. Crows are certainly too smart for their own good. No longer tied to the other seasons. Ash finishes journey after 6th gen, and this is a new Ash. Oh, okay, so it's like a totally different canon. Interesting. I actually didn't know that. I haven't really been keeping up with the anime that much, to be honest. I rewatched the first season just for nostalgia reasons, but I didn't really care enough to go back through the other seasons. I don't know. It's so long. It's just such a long series. It's just been going on forever. I just didn't want to do it. So. Oh, is it? I don't know. I don't know things. I only know some things. Oh, in fact, let me give you my first piece of evidence as for why the 7th gen is fine. 7th gen is fine. Because James is still James. He doesn't have James's voice anymore, but he is still James, and he is still the best character in the entire show. So... just this. That's the only information you need. It's just an out-of-context picture of James in a Corsola scuba diving suit. Fucking James. James is the best character in the entire show, and I just love him. He's just, he made the entire show for me. He was just the best thing ever. He's just such a completely off-the-walls character. And I just enjoy him. My favorite quote from him is, "I am a flaming Moltres." That was actually not a bad James impression either. Alright. I should stop doing impressions before I get myself, in a corner, because I'm gonna end up trying to do an impression that I can't do. There is a Pokemon impression I'm pretty good at. I don't remember what it was. Or one that I can do without peeking the mic, because I think I do a pretty good Shelter, but I would probably peek the mic doing Shelter, so I am not going to do Shelter. Let me see if I can find that. James. Yeah. Hang on. We're gonna go on a little adventure. I'm gonna need you to just chill for a moment.
think that costume came right out of his closet.
What a delightful character. Oh, my life. Just, beautiful. MTX is like, okay, this got weird. There's a Tumblr post that rolls by on my dash every now and then, where he, it's just like a sound clip of his laugh, where he's like, ew! And it just, that tickles me also, because I love his laugh. James is a great character. Done. Line art. Finished. I don't know how long we're streaming for, by the way. I just realized it's 10:30, and I also don't have to go anywhere tomorrow, so I'm not that concerned about the time. Just so you know. I am aware that I have gone over a little bit, and I don't know that I care that much. Your favorite characters from the Pokemon anime? Well, I think you know who my favorite character is now. I think I have plastered that information all over this stream. Butch and Cassidy are great characters too, though. Here's a little trick for you artists out there on how to color in line art fairly quickly. Maybe not all night. I don't think I have the stamina for that. So make your line art layer, and it's not going to work on this guy, so ignore him. But make your line art layer, and then put a layer underneath it, alright? And fill that layer in with a color. Just pick any random color, fill it in with that color. Preferably a color does not make your eyes bleed, because it will fill up the entire page. Then you grab your magic wand, and you go back to the line art layer, and you click anywhere that you do not want there to be color. So, here, under his fingers, under the baby's arm, under his arm, or her arm, sorry, misgendered you. Oh, he has a break in his line art somewhere. And that should be good. You pick anywhere that doesn't have a color, then you go to select, modify, expand. Because you've selected the outside of the line art, for some reason contract does not work. You want to do expand. And because the line art is so thin on this, I'm going to do 1 pixel. You got to mess around with this. It's either 1 or 2 pixels. But 1 pixel should be good. And then you go back to your color layer and you just hit the delete key. That's it. And now they're colored. Good night, Foxette. Oh, it's a Trixel. What up, Trixel? And then you go back in here, and anybody whose line art didn't get colored incorrectly, you just go in and fix. I'm not really sure where the break in his line art is, though, that caused that. It works really well if you have a line art style that does not have a lot of breaks in the line art. If you do a really solid line art style like I do, then this is a great trick, because now they're colored in, and now you never have to worry about coloring outside the lines. You also don't ever have to worry about a color not filling in all the way. Like, if you color like this, there's a potential that you could have a few, like, fragmented pixels in here. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's, like, a couple of pixels, like, right in here that aren't filled in all the way. You'll see that sometimes. Sometimes you can't see it, but I have had trouble with those stray pixels showing up when I'm coloring, or especially when I'm shading. So if you just do it that way, you fill in all this with a color, and then you just clip all of your regular colors to this layer, or you can fill it in, I guess. I made a mess of color like 5 minutes ago. Rip advice. Oh. I'm sorry. Let's see, who else did I miss? And then this guy. So anything with a open bottom on it like this, you do have to fill in yourself. So that's unfortunate. I'm just gonna color this in real messy though, because I am gonna put a fade on it, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But we'll put these guys in their own little group, and if you do a layer mask on this group, anywhere that you draw with black, it will erase. But here I'll show you how this works too. So anywhere on this mask layer that you draw with black will be erased, but anything you draw with white will fill back in. It's a non-permanent way to erase stuff. So I will select here, and we'll grab the gradient tool, make a black gradient on the bottom, and just pop that on in there. And now Our bird friend has a fade. That's it. And yeah. So that happened. So that's how you do that, in case any of you are artists and want a good way to color things. And then you can just go back in here. And so then what I do is I make a clipping mask. So I clip this layer to this, so anything that you draw, in case you don't know what a clipping mask is, anything you draw will not go outside this line, but if I unclip this, it's real messy. You just clip, and it just goes away. And that's how I do coloring. That's how I color. I color everything like that because I'm a messy son of a bitch. Who are we coloring? Where is Necklace Guy? Wow, that's the ugliest bird I've ever seen in my life. Why did I make him that ugly? Oh, rip this Jedoa. What is this bird even based off of? What was I even thinking? I figured as much. I figured, considering that you had a fiance, that you would not randomly be flirting with a random person in the chat. I guess this is technically a male, because he's got yellow on his face. Either way, I don't know why I made him so ugly. Let's see if we can make him a little less ugly. First of all, by darkening that tan color, because he's just gross. I love this song. It's so sad. Like, if I ever need to just feel sad for a minute, this is a good one. I was looking at this Jedoa down here thinking, I wonder what color this one's gonna be, because I'm not gonna divert it from the, not gonna divert it from the chat, or from the original sheet that much, but... unpleasantly surprised. See that I did, in fact, create a terrible, terrible thing. Well, hopefully, even though you're here against your will, you're enjoying some of my nonsense. Hopefully, it's not the worst experience of your life. And if it is, that's fine. You know, that happens. But hey, if you're tired, you should go to bed. I have been there, friend. The whole being tired thing. I was not feeling it last night. I did not want to go to bed. I did not want to get up. I got up at 9:30 to go out and drive up to my friend's house so we could raid. Oof. I woke up at 9 o'clock and I was like, ugh, do not want. And I know 9:30 doesn't sound like it's that early, but I also was up until 2 a.m., so that's pretty, 9 o'clock's pretty early when you stayed up that late. I feel that, you know, I am more social than I thought I was, but I definitely need my space after I've hung out with a lot of people, so. I feel you. No, there is no judgment here. The Axie stack does not judge. We got lots of lurkers. There are a lot of lurkers in this chat, and that is A-okay. I appreciate every single one of you. I just realized that this is not an empty space. This is an actual part of you. This is your shoulder. I need to put a line in there. I'm glad there's more people out there that get by on a few hours of sleep, honestly. If I get, like, the right number of sleep cycles, I'm fine. You know? Like, 4 hours is plenty of sleep. It's enough sleep to not feel like I'm dead, I guess. But, like, 5 hours? 5 hours will fuck me up real bad. That, like, 90 minutes of sleep thing is really crucial for me. I know not a lot of people can do that either. Like, I know a lot of people do need the recommended 8 hours or whatever it is, and some people need even more than that, but... Like, I feel better when I've gotten, like, 10 or so hours. Like, I feel better when I've had many hours of sleep, but typically I can manage. You know. I can continue to exist. This is virtual paint. It does not dry. That's practically the best part. That seems like that would be a fascinating experience, though, watching paint dry. Incredibly boring, for sure, but it seems like that would certainly be an interesting experience. Oh, speaking of things drying, maybe this isn't as interesting a story as I thought it was, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So, St. Louis went absolutely insane and just threw salt on everything because it's supposed to snow, or it did snow, and there was just a fuck ton of salt everywhere, and, my car has been so covered in salt for the past couple days that I can barely see out of my windows. So I was driving around looking for just all week I've been looking for a car wash that is open. But all the car washes are closed because it's below 32 degrees and so they can't open. And I finally found a car wash that was open. And it was like one of those self-serve ones where, like, you actually have to get out of the car and wash your car, which is fine. I did it. I got out of my car and I washed my own car. But it was really fucking cold out, and it was, like, slightly... It wasn't really below 32 degrees, but it was, like, slightly below... Excuse me. Sorry. It was slightly below 32 degrees. So, of course, I was just freezing the whole time. I had my gloves on. By the time I got back in my car, my jacket was all covered in ice from all the water spraying on me. But I washed my car, and I got all the salt off of it, and he looks beautiful now, but, like, it was fucking cold, and there's a couple spots on my car where, you can see the water droplets frozen onto the car because any water that I didn't wipe off with the little towel, just froze in place. So my car looks perpetually wet at the moment because it just doesn't, it didn't dry before the water froze. So it's kind of weird, honestly. It was probably not a good idea, but I also couldn't see anything, so I kind of had to do it. Corgi butts. Corgi butts is a good thing to rant about. I don't see the problem there. I just talked about my car for 4 minutes. Less than that, probably. I talked about my car for longer than I probably should. So, that's a thing I did today. I washed my car. I was covered in ice. It was awful. The problem is, and I'm gonna have to go out there with some towels and some warm water, because this one's kind of important, but the mirror on my passenger side, although I don't use it actively, I do reference it while I'm driving, and it currently, has ice caked on it because I must not have dried that mirror correctly. I actually went, and I had towels in my trunk for this very reason, and for other, I just have towels in my trunk just in case, but, I dried my car off, like, I hand-dried my car so that the ice wouldn't freeze to it, but I didn't get to that mirror in time, so the whole mirror is just coated in a sheet of, like, soapy ice, because I must not have rinsed that mirror very well either, so, my passenger side mirror is impossible to see anything in, and, I might have to go out with a towel and fix that. Because that can't be like that. I can't leave it like that, because I do reference it while I'm driving every now and then. I don't use it a lot, but I would feel better knowing that it's, you know, clear. So I'll probably have to, I'll have to take the, I'll have to take, like, a warm some warm water out and just clean it off. Live on an oceanfront, so it's like that all the time here. Salty everything. Ugh. Now it's ice everywhere. Yep. Well, we're supposed to have a big snowstorm tomorrow here, so it was probably not worth getting my car washed, but I literally couldn't see anything. I was having such a hard time driving home because anytime the sun hit my car, I was just blinded. I could not see past the salt and the sun. So I decided that I just needed to get it done, and if I get salt on my car again, that's fine, because it's at least less salt than it could have been. So, perhaps a bad choice, but done nonetheless. You are the exact same color as the background. Make you a different color. Like this light tan. Different color now. I fear the day we have hail, because that car is my child, and I'm gonna be so sad. I love that. I love that car more than I love most things in my life. And I never thought I would ever say that, because I was really scared to drive. Like, I mean, I was, like, sobbing at the mere thought of driving. Scared of driving. And once I got my car, that fear was not nearly as bad. And it was weird how different it was, but once I had my car, that was it. I was fine. And I fear the day that my car gets hailed on. Would you like to pick a color? Thanks. Darker. Like, I know you can fix that kind of stuff. I'm afraid that if it ever hails, that fixing the hail damage will be more expensive than the car's worth, and then I'll have to get rid of it. But I love my car. It's such a good car. And it's gotten me very many places. His name is Douglas, by the way, in case anybody was curious about what my car's name is, because he does have a name. And Douglas is the best car. I don't know if I have any pictures of Douglas at quick reach though. Screenshots? Nope. It would have been in this first folder. Oh, there he is. There he is. That's my buddy. My stupid old man car. This this poor old car. He tries his best. He is not enjoying the cold right now. I have to let that car warm up for several minutes before it drives smoothly. That car does not like the cold. It's a punch buggy. Yep, my little green punch buggy. I never really liked cars that much, but the one car that I loved so much was a green Volkswagen Beetle, and my dad found me one at a used car shop. He had 100,000 miles on him when we got him, and now he has almost 120,000 miles. So I've drove him 20,000 miles, but it's still such a good car. Like, he still functions really well. Make a de-icer, 1 part water, 2 parts isopropyl alcohol. That's a really good thing to know, actually. I have way too much alcohol. When I first moved out here to St. Louis, I bought rubbing alcohol during our first trip to the grocery store. And then we went for more, like, we had to go back later for, like, something else. And, like, I forgot some stuff, so we went back to the grocery store. And then I thought we forgot rubbing alcohol, so we bought more. So now I have 2 bottles of rubbing alcohol that I definitely didn't need, but now I have them. So that's actually a really good tip. I'll have to do that. That'll help me get the ice off the front of my car, off my mirrors at least. That doesn't hurt the car at all, right? That doesn't, I mean, I guess it wouldn't if that's something you know of. That punch buggy has had a lot of repairs done to it, though. I was driving home from the chiropractor one day, and a thunderstorm snuck up on me a little bit. Like, I knew it was gonna thunderstorm. I just didn't realize how soon it was gonna thunderstorm. And when I was driving on a back road, the wind from the thunderstorm and the heavy rain, knocked down a power line and or knocked down a tree that hit a power line, and the tree landed on my car. It was one of those really thin trees, though. It wasn't like a huge tree, but it was like a little thin, almost branch of a tree. It might have actually even been a branch. We never identified which thing hit my car, but it scratched up the hood of my car and shattered my windshield. And I had to take the car to we had to get the windshield fixed, obviously. So, baby car saved my life. That was a pretty terrifying experience. It's weird, though, because a lot of people, like, if I tell that story, the first thing people ask me is, oh my god, they say, like, oh, that sounds terrifying. I would have been so scared. The thing is, when you're in that situation, you either have a fight or that's like a fight or flight, you know. And the very first instinct I had when my car got hit by the tree was, where's the power line? Am I safe? I wasn't scared at all. I was more shocked than anything else, and I immediately looked around for the car in front of me because I had been following somebody, and just because he was the only thing I could see in the rain. And he pulled over, got out of his car, and came over to me and said, "You are on top of the power line that came down. I'm going to direct you how to get out." Or something to that effect. I was either near the down power line or like almost directly on top of it, but he talked me out of the dangerous situation and got me on the side of the road away from the power line so I wouldn't get hurt. But in that moment, I wasn't scared. I was so focused on, okay, I have to get out of here. How do I get out of here? Where's everybody else? Is everybody else safe? Is anybody hurt? You know, I was so focused on that I wasn't even noticing that I was scared. I didn't get scared until my dad showed up to help me get home because I couldn't see out of my windshield that well. So I needed somebody to follow. But I didn't get scared until then, because then I was sitting in my car going, holy shit, I almost just died. You know, then I had the panic, you know. Mage. Today I was looking for my phone while I was walking around the house holding my phone playing Pokemon Go. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find my phone. That's probably why. Yellow needs to be lighter. So that's a story of a time I almost died, but not really. I guess that's more of the story of a time that I could have died and didn't. Isopropyl can be bad for the paint, which is why most people dilute it for this use, because it's not really needed to be oh, isopropyl neat can be bad for paint. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Okay. Well, I'll have to try it if I need it. I think so far I've been okay. The biggest problem I've been having is that my stupid windshield wiper fluid keeps freezing in that way. And so then I can't clean my windshield off. I could last for a little while if I couldn't see out of my side mirrors, but I can't. I need to be able to see out of my windshield, obviously. For glasswork, diluting is fine. Okay, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. That's definitely something I will probably need to do at some point. Oh, here, let me show you guys, speaking of near-death experiences, apologies, fam, you're going to see your things on stream. Check out this house that my friend took me to today. So this house, it was an abandoned house around the corner from her house. They don't know how it caught fire, but nobody was living there. But the house caught fire a couple nights ago, and look at the tree. Like, to me, the tree is the most wild part of this whole thing. Because it was so cold when it happened that everything got frozen in the water they were using to put the fire out. Isn't that wild? I've never seen a tree entirely encased in ice like that. It looks real freaky. If you guys need any reference for spoopy buildings, there you go. That's a nice spoopy northern building. Kinda cool. Kinda cool. It would be slightly less cool if people died, but nobody died, so nobody got hurt because nobody was living there. Thank goodness. That would make it much less cool. It's funny because they were all talking about the building and how freaky the building looked and like where the fire started and whatever, but like I was so fascinated with the tree. So it's something you don't think about. Like when you're putting out the fire with the fire hoses and stuff, like you don't think about where the water's going. You know, the water's putting the fire out. That's what it's doing. It's doing that. But I mean, what about everything nearby? You know, the trees get sprayed, other houses get sprayed, your cars get sprayed, and you just don't think about it. Like, I was really fascinated with that part. That was something I never considered could happen, but you put out a fire in the cold like that, everything freezes. The whole inside of the building, too, was like... We didn't go in, obviously, because you can't. But, like, looking in from the outside, you could see that, like, everything had icicles all over it because it was frozen. Kinda freaky. Boy, my day was more eventful than I thought it was. Got to see a burned down house. It's a Pokemon Go. Didn't really catch that much great, but hey, you know, life and stuff. 12, please. 12, please. There you go. Now we can go back to 5. 11:03. I should probably get ready for bed. That would probably be a good thing. I'm gonna finish this page, I think. Or at least this color. I know we haven't been playing too many games on stream lately. I know you guys were really enjoying the game nights, but I just haven't had a chance to situate that again. It's a little bit complicated from my end, but you know, we'll do that again some night because I enjoy playing games with you guys. I just haven't really had time. Or not that I haven't had time, I haven't made time because I wanted to do this so bad. It's fun world building with you guys. Everybody's got such cool ideas. But we'll get back into games next week. I'm going to try to stick to my regular schedule of Monday, Wednesday, maybe Friday, depending on what my family's doing. I got to reschedule with them, figure out what our plans are, but, you know, I want to start playing more stuff with you guys again. Boop, boop. Down on her nose. I think she was based off of some sort of, like, black-capped chickadee or something like that. Like, something with a black, obviously, black head. They're all based off of, like, certain birds, but some of them are more obvious than others, and some of them are more, like, specific, too. Some of them I just grabbed colors off of stuff that I liked and threw them on there. At the risk of calling her in here, there is a surprising lack of cat in the stream. Where she is, but she better not be getting into trouble. Oh, it will. I'm sure it will. They'll know I'm talking about her and get in here. I think she fell asleep on her cat tree. I bought her this big cat tree, and she showed absolutely zero interest in it whatsoever. And then one day she climbed into it, and that was it. And I don't know why she suddenly decided it was the best thing ever, but when I first brought it home, she could have absolutely cared less about it. She's kind of a weird cat, though, because she doesn't even like, she doesn't like boxes. Which, I've never had a cat that didn't like boxes, but she could also give exactly no fucks about boxes. I have tried so many different size and shape and texture. Like, anytime I had a box, I put it on the floor for her. Doesn't care. Not at all. Not even a little bit. I've never had a cat that didn't care. Like, at least my mom's big fuzzy cat, although she was not obsessed with boxes the way her less fuzzy cat was, she still would sit in them occasionally. Like, if you put one out for her, she'd do it. Like, alright, fine. I'll sit in this box, but I'm not gonna look like I'm enjoying it. No, copy tool, stop that. Look at my colorful birds. Just doing their best. Oh, I totally forgot her. I don't know, it hasn't summoned the cat yet, so maybe I'm free. For a little while. Climbing things, doesn't like boxes. Yeah. Does your cat like to be picked up? Out of curiosity? Because my cat loves to be picked up. I gave her a nice long hug in the kitchen today because she wanted to be picked up and I couldn't pick her up because I was doing something. I was cooking dinner, so she kept touching me on the hip, so I just knelt down on the floor and she put her little paws up on my shoulder and she kept scratching at my shoulder like she wanted me to pick her up. But I wasn't going to pick her up, so I just hugged her. And we just stood like that for like a minute. And then I let her go, and then she was fine. Purred the whole time. Just was 100% okay with that. She does not like... your cat doesn't like to be picked up at all. The box is tall enough to climb on. You will end up with a funny blind if it fall into a box. That sounds awesome. This bird boy gets shorter in the transformation? Maybe. Yes, she got shorter. They were all sort of the same height before. And now I've varied them a little bit. He deals with hugs if it gets food, and he's having a funny day where he's affectionate. Gotcha. The Jedoa have a lot shorter stance now. They're not even nearly as tall as they were. I'm also paying a lot more attention to tone. I wanted them to be shorter and cuter so that their silhouette's a little different from the other species, because now they look very different if you turn them into black and white. But or into like silhouettes, they look really different and unique. But yeah, that fine, I'll do it the right way. Zoom in and look at what. So. But yeah, some of them got a little chubby. And like this guy, his legs were like absurdly long to begin with, so now they're not. Because I'm on the. He refuses to drink from bowls, only cups, and he pulls voodoo on your grandparents and he gives them kisses on request. That's an interesting cat. My cat probably would drink out of a bowl if I gave her one, but I have one of those cat fountains. It feels like it's something stupid that, like, rich people do to spoil their pets because they're people too, but it's actually a really good invention because it keeps the water flowing so it's always fresh, and so the cats are more likely to drink it. For anybody who's never seen a cat fountain and has not ever tried one, I recommend it highly. Shay drinks so much water, which is great because both of my mom's cats had kidney issues, so, you know, I'm hoping to not have to deal with the same issues with my cat that my mom did with hers. Oh, I hear hacking. She does this funny dry cough where it sounds like she's gonna throw up, like hack up a hairball kind of thing, but she doesn't. And she's never thrown up. Like, I think she threw up a total of like one time, and it's because she ate lint off the floor while I was doing laundry. And because she's stupid. But she's never thrown up, but she always does this weird little dry hack. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's normal or not, and I forgot to ask the vet the last time I was there. More for me than for the cat, but I did get an air purifier, and a humidifier. I have the air purifier because I kept getting sore throats, and I figured there was probably, like, mold or something that was, something in the apartment was causing that, so I got I got an air purifier, and that helped a ton. It didn't stop her from coughing, so it's probably not that, but, and I got the humidifier because every time I touched my cat, I would just shock her. Because it's really fucking dry in my house, so now we have a humidifier, and it helps a lot. Oh, hey! It's a gravy! An apple gravy, even. My cat will request to be escorted to tap and have it turned on for him. That's beautiful. Your cat would probably love a cat fountain, then. Like, water on demand. Every now and then you might hear my cat on stream. Sometimes she gets real close to the mic because she knows that I'm talking into it, and she won't meow. She'll just stand there and purr at me because she thinks that that's where my attention is on the microphone. I have the microphone suspended so she can't, like, knock it down or anything, and I can just push it out of her way if she needs me to, but Every now and then she gets real close to it, so you might hear her purring. She is just a purring machine. Your cat is awesome. Your cat just sounds like a broken mess, and in, like, a good way. Just, like, the best kind of broken mess. I've never seen or met your cat before, but I love him. Love him already. I love cats. Chaos is also a great name for a cat like that. I'm glad that that's his name. Okay, done. How's life turning out for all of us? Meh. He's getting chubbier. Too many tuna. You live. The gravy lives. My cat eats exactly 2 times a day, and she hates it. She's very demanding when I'm home on the weekends, because she doesn't realize that me being home does not mean that she's going to get fed, necessarily. And so she's always begging for food while I'm home. But she gets fed at 8:30 in the or 7:30 in the morning, and she gets fed at 6 o'clock at night. Sometimes later, because I'm an asshole who likes to stay at work. And sometimes earlier, because I'm an asshole who likes to get out of work. And depending on who you ask, I am an asshole. So when I'm late, it's the cat. When I leave work early, it's my boss. Probably. If he's ever told me I'm an asshole, I just feel like I probably am. But yeah, she eats twice a day. When I get up for work and when I get home from work. If she could be fed more than that, she would love it. But then she would be really fat. Like, she has a bowl of dry food that's out all the time, but she gets wet food twice a day, because good for her, I guess. He got that name because in the pet rescue place I found him, he learned to hang up phones. That sounds phenomenal. I don't know if I told you guys how I picked Shay. I had been out here in St. Louis. You know, it was my first time living really far away from home by myself. Because when I was at college, I was sort of by myself, but I was like 30 minutes from my family, so if I needed them, I could just go get them. Or go to them. So this was kind of my first time living really far away from home, alone. And, his face, the markings first and then done his eyes. And I was kind of thinking about getting a pet. You know, I had Steve, but, you know, Steve. I had the saltwater tank, but the saltwater tank is, you know, they're there. They're doing their thing. They're sort of entertaining, but they're not a fuzzy animal. And the fish don't get excited when you come home. Steve gets kind of excited, but that's mostly because a thing is near his tank and it's something interesting to look at. He doesn't care about you. So I kind of was thinking about getting a cat, but, you know, I wasn't sure if I really wanted that commitment, but I decided one day I had to go to Petco to get something, or PetSmart to get something for, I had to go to PetSmart to get something for my fish tank. Steve needed water clarifier. So while I was there, I was kind of wandering around, just, you know, I thought, well, I'll go check out the cats. So I walked over to the cat section, and I saw Shay immediately, because she was the only one in there that was brown with green eyes. And I walked in and I was saying hello to all the cats, and there was a cute black cat and stuff, but as I walked by Shay's cage, she screamed at me. And I was like, oh, you're really chatty, and I scritched her through the bars a little bit, and she, you know, purred and purred and purred and purred. But I wasn't, like, in the market for a cat, so I just, or I sort of was, but wasn't sure yet if I really wanted to commit. Like, no cat I had seen at any of the stores, like, jumped out at me, and I said, oh, I have to have that one. So I went to look at the cat below her, and he was like an orange striped cat or something, I don't really remember. So I knelt down, and she yelled so loud at me, and she just screamed and screamed and screamed. So I stood up, and I was like, well, you are just a chatty baby, aren't you? And she reached out through the bars and put her paw right on top of my nose. Just right square on the tip of my nose. She just put her little paw and all her little toe beans and just held my nose. And I was like, oh my god, you're the one. It has to be you. So she took her paw off my face, and I wondered if she had paws because she didn't put her claws in my face. And then she kind of stood up on the bars and was like trying to lean out to touch me again. And that's when I saw her claws come out a little bit, so I knew she wasn't declawed, so she could have smacked me in the face and chose not to. It was a very gentle touch on the nose, and I came back the next day and signed the adoption papers. There was, like, no question. I was like, all right, I'm coming back on Saturday. That's done. She booped me. She booped me right on the nose, and that was it. Like, she chose me. She reached out and just picked me. That was it. That was the one. She was very unenthusiastic when I came back to see her the next day, though. Because she was out of her cage wandering around in the little room they put them in. And I went in to say hi to her just to kind of make sure we would be a good fit. I wanted to play with her for a little bit and just see if her personality matched mine, because I had really only had that one interaction with her. And she sort of unenthusiastically stared at me from the corner. And I just was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting any information here because she's not sure if she's comfortable. And I was talking to her foster mom, and her foster mom was like, she's so sweet, and she's really, like, she's a good cat. I'm sure she'll like you. She's just being really shy right now. And I actually did this thing, I don't know if it's just that shelter or if other places do it too, but the shelter that was there, they do like a foster program when you adopt an animal from them. So you basically take the animal home for free for 2 weeks. You don't have to pay any of their adoption fees or anything. And you see if you're a good fit for that animal. And if you guys get along, then you sign all their paperwork and make the payments and stuff. And then you keep them. And I think that's a good idea to make sure that you fit with the animal that you have taken home. Because I'm sure that people get an animal and then realize that the personality of that animal is just not going to match up. So she came home with me that day, and it was all the other cats we've ever had. You bring them home and they like freak out and run under the couch or something, and they just want nothing to do with you. And she came out of her she got out of her carrier and walked around the house like she owned the place, checked everything out, and then just came over and sat with me and just purred. Like, immediately she was like, oh, okay, this is home now. Gotcha. Done. So, yeah, she chose me. And she chose to boop me instead of scratch my face off. Which she absolutely could have done, and I probably would have let her. No, she's such a good cat. Such a good... I mean, birds are great, too, and I like birds a lot, and I would like to maybe try to have one someday. But this cat is just the most perfect animal. So great. I'm surprised I've said her name like 4 times and she hasn't come in here to ruin my everything. Ugh. Get a little tired, but I'm like so close to being... Actually, I'm not that close to being done. I just realized because I forgot I had the guys at the bottom to do. That was it. It's almost 11. I should go to bed. I'm getting a little tired. Like, I'm starting to get a little drowsy, and I can feel myself talking out of the back of my throat, which is usually an indication that I'm starting to get tired. I start to get really lazy with my voice when I speak when I get tired, so... Make sure he's colored up correctly. Oh, so this Jedoa, this guy on the end here, the really confused looking one, that would be an example of a Jedoa that has the has a genetic anomaly with his feather coloration. So his blue coloration took up his whole body. You have a lot of coins, man. I think it's because you're a mod. Probably. So, yeah. That's him. Oh, I forgot to color his... You know how to get Axolotl to pay attention to me? Is that so? He doesn't seem to like you for some reason. Watch this. Do it. He has to pay attention to you now. I don't understand. I legitimately, I don't understand why he's not speaking to you. Because if I type, let me type this. Let me copy your sentence. Let me see if he'll do it to me. Yeah, for some reason he doesn't listen. Oh! Ate a gravy! Thanks for the sub, man. Huh. Axolotl can pick up his name in other sentences. I don't understand why not now. Interesting. Yes! More sub friends! Look at you on the bottom there, recent subscriber. Beautiful. Thank you for subscribing to the Axis. Oh, so many. Now you have two. Two symbols. Okay. I could color those guys, but honestly, not going to. So, we'll do that maybe tomorrow. Actually. So we've got page 1, page 2. Page 3 is going to be intro to their psychology, some stuff about their personal relationships, some etiquette stuff, values and stigmas, and an intro to city stuff. And then I'm going to put their relationships to other species in this box down here, and that's going to suck because it's not going to take up enough space, and I can already tell it won't. Then we got religion and traditions, fashion, arts, and entertainment, which is almost done. That's just about finished. We got language and numbers and such. That's going to be an interesting sheet to fill out when I get to other species, because the other species don't have unique number systems, so I don't know how I'm going to make that work. We got town and home and politics and city. The header's still wrong on that one, but I have to fix it. And then at some point we have to do a science and technology, but not going to do that today. Yes, who are we going to raid? Who's a good choice for raid? Let's see, who's around? Let me refresh the page so I can see who's around. Nobody's really online. Do you guys have any friends that you want me to raid? There's North. He's working on some sort of watercolor ink thing. Drinking, perhaps? I'd rather raid somebody who doesn't have a lot of viewers, like By Ivy's streaming, and we could raid her, but she has a lot of viewers already, so I'll for you too. Yeah. Alright, I don't know what's going on with North. I don't know if you guys will enjoy him or not, but let's go raid North. He's a friend of Ms. Maw's, I believe, so. Alright, here we go. I tried to paste. Could be interesting. Raid timer, what are you doing? Wanna calm down, please? Oh, it's just freaking out, that's why. Okay. Well. Yes, good night, people who are leaving. I hope you had a good time. I'm gonna run my, my outro just for the video, but, yeah. Have a good one, guys. Just one? Who else is going with me? Thank you for the follow, Foxit.